Okay, I just recorded this video, but I went over 15 minutes. It was like almost 20 minutes. I be trying to get things out fast, but it's just, time moves fast for me when I'm recording, but then when I play it back, it goes by so slow. And I think I'll be talking pretty fast. Everybody tells me to talk fast, but okay, let's do this again. This is going to be for those looking to start LOCS, okay? For those looking to start LOCS, I recommend a few things. Consider some things. Consider your workplace, what you're trying to get into, or you're trying to be in the corporate world, male or woman. It's harder for men. Think about the kind of LOCS you want. You want manicured LOCS, or do you want freeform LOCS? Freeform LOCS will probably be a little bit harder to have in the workplace because of the fact that they're going to be looking at you like, yeah. You know, and you might not get it because they're going to look at you like you're dirty. That's what they're going to do. So if I were you, I would think about, do you want manicured LOCS? Do you want to be a fresh, pretty boy, pretty girl all the time? Or do you not mind the free, loose, let it do what it do look? Think about the corporate, whatever job, work field you want to get into. If you're interviewing, you might want to be careful about choosing a free form. If you're going to free form and you're going through interviews to get a job, you might want to wear like one of them cute little headbands around, you know what I mean? Hide this part because they're not going to look at that too kindly. Another thing you want to consider before starting LOCS is you want to make sure that you have a knowledge base of products that you're going to be using in your hair. I do not recommend. Me personally, I know a lot of stylists do this. I know a lot of people on YouTube use it. Me personally, I just can't. I don't dig it at all. I just don't dig it. Not a brown gel user. Not a lot of body user. Not a beeswax user. I don't care who the beeswax is from. I'm not a beeswax person. I approve of things that are free moving, free flowing. Your LOCS are supposed to be free. Your natural hair is in a free state. Put only free moving products in your hair. There are some creams and butters that's okay to use if you just use very minimal of it. But me personally, I pretty much recommend using water to start your LOCS. Water is very key. Water and oils and essential oils, natural oils and essential oils, whether it be extra virgin coconut oil or whatever kind of coconut oil you can afford, coconut oil, olive oil, jojoba oil, whatever oil, as long as it's a free flowing oil. Coconut oil is kind of thicker, so you might want to use just a little bit of that. Olive oil has a thick consistency, you might want to use a little bit of that, but all in all, they still help to absorb the hair in the scalp. So they're thicker, but they're light at the same time. But you still don't want to use too much of it. So just be mindful of what you're going to use on your hair. Don't just start taking peanut butter and syrup and honey and crap and like twisting your hair with it. Because somebody who got LOCS down to the freaking floor said that's what they use to start their LOCS. Don't do it. Be mindful what you're going to put on your LOCS. If you're the type of person that's like me, you're mindful about what you put on your hair because it does absorb through the scalp and it goes through the system. Sometimes it's a respiratory thing. You breathe it in and it affects your respiratory and it messes with your organs. If you're that type of person that's into that type of stuff like me, then you're definitely going to only use all natural things. But whatever you use to start your LOCS, other than brown gels, waxes, that I don't recommend. I suggest you just be careful about what you put in your hair. Consider that. Another thing I want to say to consider would be your parting size. What's the parting size or the parting system that you want? There's the diamond parts. There's circular kind of roundish looking parts I've seen. Or the regular square parts. Figure out the parting system that you want. I've seen some abstract parts that weren't really a shape. It's just like abstract parts. Figure out what you want in your head. Figure out the size you want your LOCS. If I were you, I would go to a loctician, a professional loctician. Whether it's a professional at-home loctician or a professional in the salon loctician. A free consultant. Not somebody who's going to charge you for consultation. Because you might not even go to them for the LOCS. So go find somewhere where it's pretty much a free consultation and have them observe your head and figure out what you want in your head as far as what size. You might have a thicker texture hair. You might have a thicker texture hair versus a thinner texture hair. You might have, a coarser texture hair versus a finer texture hair. You might have a thicker head of hair versus a thinner head of hair. You know what I mean? That kind of determines the size of the locks that you need in the parting system. So, you can have somebody with a thicker texture of hair, coarser texture of hair, get the same size parts as a person with a thin head of hair, and their locks are going to fill out different. So you want to be careful. Consider that. Consider your system and your parting size. Me personally, my locks, the way I started my locks, I wasn't too particular. I made them fairly straight. And then for some reason I felt like these up here were too thin, too small of a part, so then I combined them, and then I was like, wait a minute, I combined them too thick, and then I took them out and started them over, and so now it's not as straight up in here as it is through the rest of my head, but that's okay. I don't mind that. I kind of like the not too particular, not too straight, not too even. I like that look. And all my locks are not the same size either. That's another thing. All my locks are not the same size. I'm fine with it. Some people are not. Another thing that you want to do is you want to think about when you're going to start your locks, like the season. I started mine in April. So me personally, I've heard some people say it's better to start them in the winter. Me personally, I started mine in April. Springtime, sun. And that sun feeds you your locks. It feeds your locks. Your locks is going to love the sun. Hair loves the sun, period. So you're going to want to be out there in the sun, letting that sun feed your locks and heat your scalp up and help with the deeper penetration. Sometimes when I'm doing like a deep condition type thing, I won't sit under a dryer or nothing, under unnecessary heat. I'll put all the oils and stuff on my head and I'll go sit out in the sun. I'll just go sit and chill out in the sun. That's how I do mine. Or sometimes not even a deep condition. Sometimes I just need a little penetration action. So I just go outside and do that. Another couple things you want to think about before you get locks, or you want to consider, would be, I'll say to watch you start your locks. Be very careful. Don't go to them African braiding shops, and this is not a racial comment I'm about to make, but I'm just saying from my experience and from all my other black females' experience looking at their head, you go to an African braiding shop just because that's what they do in Africa. That doesn't mean that they got you down, okay? They really, from my experiences, don't care about your life. They don't really care about your life. They just go kind of hard on your head, and you want to just kind of be careful about that. I've had my micro locks and stuff from the African braiding shops just completely fall out of my head from the root, and you can see like the follicle bulbs at the end, and that's not a good look. So you want to think about that. A couple other things, and because I don't want to make this too long, a couple other things you want to consider or think about. Don't let anybody tell you not to wash your hair. People love to tell people, and stylists love to tell people, don't wash your hair for 2 months, 3 months, or even a month. Like, water is essential for the locking process. You don't have to keep a dirty head to lock your hair. Do people do it? Yes. Do I recommend it? No. You do not have to exclude water from your head. If anything, you want to keep your locks as clean as you can keep them during the locking process. The cleaner your hair, the better the locking process. Not the dirtier the hair. Not the dirtier the hair. So you want to make sure, me for example, when I first started my locks, the first thing that I did, 2 weeks after I did my first set of twists, I went and I washed my hair. Did they unravel and look like they came all the way out? Yes, they did. Pretty much all over my head, my whole head. But the thing about it is, you got to think about it. Logic, okay? reason with what people say to real life situations. Don't just take anything anybody tells you. Don't just take what I'm telling you. But just think about it, okay? Think with me, people. Listen, check it out. Loose naturals, we know what the deal is. We have to detangle. When I was loose natural, don't you have to detangle when you wash your hair? Don't YouTube go crazy over the detangling process? And they're always looking for detangling products and stuff. Okay, so you detangle your loose natural hair. Now, am I right or wrong? The longer you go washing your loose natural hair and you get lazy and you neglect the detangling process, does it not get harder for you to detangle? Or does it not take more work, I'll say, for you to detangle your hair versus if you detangle after every wash? Okay, my point is, if you're not following me, point is, your hair mats on its own. It tangles and it mats and it locks on its own. Okay? You can, even though my twists came all the way out, I didn't detangle them. You feel me? You see what I'm saying? I did not detangle them and come all the way through them. They came out, but I twisted them back. And then they came out again and I twisted them back. Those hairs within each other and around the outside of the twist eventually did their own thing. It's going to seem frustrating at first, especially if you're doing your own. I was doing my own. But trust me, it's worth it. If you can learn patience, if you don't have it, it is so worth it. Look how mine turned out. I'm fine with mine. The only problem that I have, and it's not really a problem, but the only thing that happened to my locks is this one is the brand new one that I've showed y'all before. This one is the brand new one, and it makes me look kind of bald right here. That's because if it was, you know, a full lock, I'd be able to throw it up in here. But my parting systems are not equal. My lock sizes are not equal. And the things I put in my hair to start my locks, I just kept it pretty simple. Now, the con, I did practice with Twist and Lock gel with the purple top from Organics, and I did practice with some other gel. Don't use any gels. I have a gel that I do use every once in a while. It's from Kinky Curly Custard. It's an all-natural gel. And I recommend that. It's okay if you use that. It's an all-natural gel, but just whatever you use on your hair. I don't care if it's an oil, a gel, natural gel. Whatever you use on your hair, make it a little bit. If you don't need a lot, because water is what's mostly going to lock your hair. It's possible to start locks without using anything but water. I don't recommend not using anything else to put the moisture back in your hair or to seal the moisture in, but just be mindful. Be very mindful. Don't let anybody tell you, you know, they put peanut butter syrup and egg batter in their hair. You know what I mean? Every single time they lock their hair, because every single time they twist their hair, and that's how they started their locks. Just because their locks is down here or banging. You know what I mean? Like, don't let them tell you that. Do your own research. That's the best thing. It's not to listen to me tell you. It's not to listen to anybody else tell you. Do your own research. Learn about products and ingredients in products. Natural and organic or over-the-counter, store-bought, shelf. Figure it out. Do your research. Okay? Because trust me, you guys really don't need anybody to tell you how to start locks. It's all out there for you. Self-teaching yourself anything is a beautiful thing. You'll be very surprised at what you can teach yourself and the knowledge you can give yourself. So that's about it. I know YouTube allows like 15 minutes for videos now and everything, but I am going to get out of here. That's about it. I don't really have too much more to add to it. I don't think I really forgot anything. That's about it. So I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to try to maybe do a picture slideshow of another style that I tried in my head. But I hope that this helped anybody out there looking to start locks, and I hope that this helped anybody maybe with locks. I don't know. This isn't a well thought put together video. I just kind of did this on a whim. So everybody out there, peace be to y'all, and keep it natural, and even sexier, keep it locked. Alright, bye.